it's you, old Malawi. Come and see. I receive beautiful things from our village.
Made to order.
Oh, it's you, old Malawi. Come and see. I receive beautiful things from our village.
The best forge in Tyr for a day.
Bertir to mad on old Menawi. I am always. Do you want to see the? Oh, it's you, old Menawi. Come and see. I receive beautiful things from our village.
Greenblood, my friend. I can't stop thinking about Raynor and what happened to him. Let me know when you're ready to accompany me to those bastards' training camp. I need the help of my best student.
How can I refuse such a request? Well then, let's go.
Dara grimeterem dam.
Things are about to get dicey.
Your commisser is nestiri.
was informed of your arrival by my sentinels, but I didn't think it would be you, Kurt.
Rolf, you're the leader of this camp.
Do you two know each other?
We train together. We haven't seen each other in a long time. A very long time.
The world of warriors is very small, Kurt. What brings you here, my old comrade? And who are these people with you? They're not one of us?
My name is Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I'm Siora, Doneigad, of the Gaesrad.
These people sure are important. So, what are you doing here?
I've heard things about this place. About this very special camp.
And we wanted to see what it was all about with our own eyes.
That's very nice of you, but visitors aren't welcome in this camp. What goes on here is only the guards' business.
Does the same apply to me?
Listen, Kurt. I can give you and your friends some answers, but only because it's you. Anyway, knowing you as well as I do, I'm aware I'm not going to get rid of you that easily. So, what would you like to know?
What is it you do here? And why is this place kept secret? Even from your comrades in the guard?
The natives have their magic, and we have to train elites to be able to face them. That's what we're doing here. Our role is sensitive, and our location obviously cannot be revealed to the whole island.
Does this man not realize that I'm a Doneigad?
I noticed you're a native, but you're a friend of Kurt's, so I trust you will be discreet.
I see the reason for this kind of training. The Bridge Alliance would be particularly interested in soldiers like these. And yet I'd never heard of this elite squadron.
We're still in the early stages of the program. We don't want to rush things. And our leaders demand secrecy. Orders are orders.
This is a huge camp for such a secret location. How is it organized?
The main building is reserved for officers and the wounded. The front and rear of the camp are dedicated to combat training. But most exercises take place outside.
Impressive. And how do you manage recruitment?
Only the best come here. Those who have combat experience. Once they arrive, they're separated into 2 squadrons, each led and trained by a lieutenant. But you already know all of this, Kurt. It must bring back memories.
Yes.
Will you tell us about your training?
That's a sensitive topic. Most exercises take place in the field to get the men used to it. The natives' knowledge of the environment gives them as much of an advantage as their magic. But if you want to know more, you should ask my lieutenant instructors.
Actually, we found out about this camp while we were looking for someone.
A kid I recruited. Rainer.
Oh. I didn't know he was one of yours. My condolences. I was told he died in an accident in the harbor.
Don't insult my intelligence, Rolf.
All right. Since you're here, I guess there's no point in lying to you anymore. The accident occurred during a maneuver. It's regrettable, but these things happen, you know?
We've taken up enough of your time, Captain.
I agree, and I have things to do.
I'd like to question your lieutenant instructors, if you don't mind. To ask them about Rainer.
You've become a real sap. Fine. But try not to disrupt the day's schedule too much. Goodbye.
I'm sorry. I couldn't contain my anger.
I noticed. Good thing you know this captain so well.
Lieutenant!
Respectfully, Captain.
Here is my friend, the legate of the merchant congregation. He would like to ask you a few questions.
At your orders. I'm listening, sires.
How do the various squadrons in this camp differ from one another?
The recruits I train are intended to carry out more subtle actions.
Really? What kind?
I teach them how to blend into the background, understand customs, observe, and know when to strike.
That's strange. These skills...
These skills are always useful.
What kind of training do your men undergo?
I can't go into details, but they learn discipline, and to outdo themselves.
You mean to blindly follow orders?
But No, we also teach them to analyze situations, so that they know when to act to avoid risking their lives.
How did you become an instructor in this camp?
I have led numerous squadrons before, and I've trained hundreds of recruits on the continent. I worked with Captain Rolfe in the past, and when I arrived on the island, he recommended me for this position.
That's very impressive. And I expect that you're familiar with the natives' environment and magic.
Yes, yes, of course.
Kurt, don't you think that someone this talented fits what we're looking for? You see, we need to find someone who can replace Kurt to oversee my cousin's security.
Your cousin is the governor of New Serene, I've heard. It's a prestigious position. I don't doubt my abilities, but an offer like this, made so suddenly, must have a price.
We can't hide anything from you.
We're trying to find out what happened to Rainer, a recruit who trained here.
That name doesn't sound familiar. He must have been in the Shadow Squadron.
The other lieutenant's squadron.
Yes. I'm sorry. Haven't been much use to you. Did something happen to him?
He died. His body was thrown into the harbor to make it look like he drowned.
I guess it was one of your recruits. My condolences, Captain.
We'll question some of your soldiers.
At your orders, but please be quick. I'd like to get on with training.
Hello, soldier.
Captain?
We need information. Your instructor authorized...
Of course, sire. I'm listening.
How would you describe your training? Do you train outside?
Yes, we do.
Really? Yet we've been told that you're...
Yes.
Problems remembering?
No, Captain.
What's it like in your squadron?
Very good. The Phantom Squadron is...
Do you trust your comrades?
We're like 5 fingers on one hand, sire. I would trust...
You've sure got the military...
Yes, Captain.
We've learned that a recruit died in an accident.
No. Of course not.
That's strange. I was told that...
If you don't mind, I'd like to get...
He seems afraid that an accident might be...
No. It's not that.
Very well.
Excellence.
These kids are scared to death.
Yes. This boy's answers about his training seem pretty dubious to me.
You can't hide the lies. Soldier!
Captain!
At ease, soldier.
We'd like to learn more about your training.
I have nothing to say about it, sir.
Really? Go on, it's not a difficult question. What do you do during training?
Is this a test, Captain?
No, it's not a test. You may speak freely.
Well, training is difficult, but we can't complain, Captain.
That's an interesting way to phrase it. You're very united in this squadron. At least, that's what I've been told.
United. You could say that, yes. Until death.
That's rather sinister. Does the name Rainer sound familiar to you?
Yeah? Well, no, not really.
You seem rather hesitant. Afraid of being reprimanded by your lieutenant?
No. Well, not at all. It's just that I can't tell you anything about Recruit Rainer. And we're lucky to have the Lieutenant as our instructor, Captain.
We should leave this soldier to his work.
Your name, soldier?
Wilhelm. First-class recruit Wilhelm, Spectre Squadron.
Keep it up, Wilhelm.
This recruit, Wilhelm, in spite of himself, led on more than the others.
His resentment is clear, but he won't divulge anything as long as his instructors are nearby.
Lieutenant,
Captain.
my friend here would like to learn more.
At your orders, Captain.
Can you tell us about your squadron?
The recruits who come here are the best. And in my squad, I don't know what else to tell you. They're disciplined, rigorous, and effective. Exactly what you'd expect from the best soldiers.
What kind of training takes place?
Combat in natural settings. Combat.
I'm very curious about how you train against
Now, these are complex, secret maneuvers.
That's a pity. It would definitely...
I heard the recruit Rainer trained here.
Oh, he was a good one. He died.
So we've heard. Your captain told us...
The training we do outside. Unfortunately, Rainer fell to it.
He fell.
During a simulated ambush. I know, it's not glorious, but I'd like to get back to work now, if you'll allow it, Cap.
Go on. We're gonna go...
I hope that it won't take too long.
We'll be quick.
The story about training against magic is a lie. This lieutenant has no idea what he's talking about.
So what could they be training recruits for here, then?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I don't like it. Soldier!
Yes, Captain.
At ease.
Me?
You look exhausted. Is training...
It's difficult at first, but you get through it.
Haven't you ever wanted to stop? You've never...
I'm not a coward, nor a weakling. The strength of the...
What is that?
Our squadrons, Captain.
You seem concerned about your comrades. You keep looking...
No, not at all.
Are you afraid of what they might...
Absolutely not, Captain. We are all of one mind in this squadron.
Since this is such a close-knit squadron...
Yes, of course. But he's not part of the...
Really?
I don't know what you're trying to get me to say, Captain. Rainer left the squadron because he was sent on a mission. There's nothing more...
Sorry, mate, but that's not what...
I don't know anything...
Thank you. That will be all.
Thank you, sire. Captain?
Lieutenants! Report.
Captain?
Could you give us a few minutes and take us around the site? I've never been here before, and I'm curious to see what goes on.
I'm not sure if we can, Captain.
We are on duty, Captain.
Right, Lieutenant. Let's go! Are you coming with us?
No, thank you. I'd rather stay here. Take in some fresh air.
As you like. In that case, see you later.
Wilhelm, we need to talk. And don't worry, Kurt will make sure...
Why are you doing this?
We didn't think you'd say anything as long as she was...
If you noticed, others will have too. They'll make me...
Even more reason to talk. If we have... What's really going on here? We know...
This is supposed to be a training camp for the Guard's elite. Only the most talented recruits are allowed to join. This is an immense honor. An extraordinary... That's what we're told every day. But in reality...
Tell me about the training you undergo.
It's more torture. We're constantly beaten and humiliated, and the slightest complaint only leads... They even push us to police one another, so we don't dare talk. Whatever the orders, we put our heads down, grit.
And they call us barbarians. We could never put our own children through this.
I heard them tell you about the specialist training against the natives. What they teach us would be more useful for assassin.
As for Rainer, do you know what...
Yes. One day he just couldn't stand it any longer. They summoned him for night training.
What does that entail?
It doesn't have much to do with real training. The weakest serve as punching bags for the others, who are encouraged. If we refuse, we too become the target. If you're looking to punish Rainer's murderer, you can start with me.
Thank you for telling us all of this.
I hope you can do something. Have this camp closed.
We understand the risk you've taken.
Thank you. Really. That was truly fascinating.
Captain?
I've seen everything I needed to see.
Yes, Captain.
Shall we go?
Kurt, Willem has spoken.
What did he tell you?
He said the recruits go through hell. They're humiliated, spy on each other, get bullied. It's essentially torture. Rainer wouldn't stand for these methods. He rebelled.
Are you sure he used...
Yes. But he told me it's not...
And the others beat them. Sometimes...
You knew about this kind of training?
Yeah. I thought it was a thing of the...
I'm so sorry. I'm
I scouted out the site. There's two parts of the barracks we should look at more. Rolf's quarters and the basement, which they refused.
You're full of anger, Sengots. Take a deep breath and think. Then tell us your...
Let's wait for nightfall. We'll sneak into the camp unseen, search the barracks.
We might also try to find out where this night train...
Yes. I wouldn't want other young recruits to lose their life.
Strange. There's no one left in this part of the camp.
Maybe they're in the combat pit behind the barracks. I saw it when I visited the camp. Or they've already left for their night training. Let's find Rolf's office. He surely has the key to the basement.
This letter is disturbing, Kurt. It confirms that several deaths have been disguised in order. It says that the recruits trained here, and yet I'm sure that Constantine knows the conclusion of the letter. Also,
So Torsten...
so it seems.
He's gone too far. He dishonoured... locked.
This room. What could have happened in here?
I know this smell only too well. Fear, blood, death.
These people have turned this place into a site. Of suffering. It will take years of work to erase its traces.
This document explains a lot. They torture the... Rainer shows up on this list more than once.
Those who resist too much are lynched during night.
Kurt. Wilhelm's name was added.
That's the young man who helped us, isn't it?
We can't let them kill him.
The risk is that Rolf...
If this boy dies because of us... I refuse to let these recruits pay for the bastards who manipulate them. Let's avoid spilling blood in vain.
You surprise me once again, Kurt. You're full of compassion for these youngsters.
They're just kids. There has to be a way to reason with them.
We'll do what we can. I can't promise...
Refuse to let these recruits pay for the bastards who manipulate them. Let's avoid spilling blood in vain.
You surprise me once again, Kurt. You're full of compassion for these youngsters.
They're just kids. There has to be a way to reason with them.
We'll do what we can, Kurt. I can't promise anything more.
Nobody saw us. All we have to do is ambush them in the pit. Rolf, you bastard! How could you be part of this disgrace?
You know that this is how the best soldiers are made.
Soldiers, grab your weapons! Death to the traitors!
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey these scoundrels? Do I need to remind you of the Guard's motto? Where is your honor?
I won't repeat myself, recruits. Execute these traitors!
Soldiers, listen to your captain. You are the victims of these monsters, and we are here to save you. We're doing our best to avoid a fight, to spare your lives.
Well, what do you want us to do? We have orders, and we know what will happen to us if we don't obey.
Enough! To arms! Attack!
Put your weapons down and no one will get hurt.
Really? What do you think will happen when High Command learns about this? You'll be considered traitors and deserters.
Death is all that awaits us. Attack!
Must I remind you what happened to Raynor?
And however many others perished to fuel the ambitions of this camp's leader.
Is this what you were promised when you were recruited?
No. No. Honor and glory. We've strayed far from all that. Let's surrender. Anything is better than dying here like dogs.
How dare you! You know what awaits you.
Shut up, you idiots. You're no longer in a position to threaten anyone.
You're finally here.
Sorry, Captain. The boy resisted longer than planned.
You were spared the shame of seeing how far your comrades have fallen.
What happened?
They surrendered, like the weaklings they are.
That should make the next night training sessions interesting.
What have you done with Wilhelm?
He received the punishment for traitors and insurgents, like...
You're... Recruit!
Refuse to let these recruits pay for the bastards who manipulate them. Let's avoid spilling blood in vain.
You surprise me once again, Kurt. You're full of compassion for these youngsters.
They're just kids. There has to be a way to reason with them.
We'll do what we can, Kurt. I can't promise anything more. Despite what Wilhelm told me, I wasn't expecting this. He's getting destroyed.
They'll kill him. We can't let them get away with it.
Come on, I'll teach you how to dance. Stop! We won't let you kill this boy like you killed Rainer.
Soldiers! Do you realize what you're doing?
Captain? But...
You shouldn't be here. This time, you won't get away with it. To arms!
Do you know what happens to those who die in this regiment? Their bodies are thrown out like those of rabid animals. If you die here, you'll die without glory. No one will ever know what happened to you. I doubt that's what they promised you when you joined the Guard.
No. No, of course not.
A good soldier doesn't fight for glory. He fights to be the best.
Really? Then the Guard really has changed. Did you recruits leave your families to end up lynched and thrown into a ditch?
No. You're right, Captain. We never should have ended up here.
Traitors! Cowards! Deserters!
To my help! And death to the...
Will you be all right?
I'm wounded, but I'll survive. Thanks to you. I'm eternally grateful.
Come, Wilhelm. We'll help you get home. We owe you that, at least.
I'm counting on you to bring him back to the camp in one...
Yes, Captain.
Well then, let's go. Let's hope that Rolf didn't hear the sounds of combat. Surprise is our best ally.
You're right. Let's try to approach discreetly. It's blocked.
Nobody saw us. All we have to do is ambush them in the pit. Rolf, you bastard! How could you be part of this disgrace?
You know that this is how the best soldiers are made. Soldiers, grab your weapons! Death to the traitors!
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey these scoundrels? Do I need to remind...
We're doing our best to avoid a fight.
Well, what do you want us to... And we know what we'll...
Enough!
Must I remind you what
And however many others...
Is this what you...
Maybe not.
Exactly.
Attack!
Found the Dara.
Nobody saw us. All we have to do is ambush them in the pit. Rolf, you bastard! How could you be part of this disgrace?
You know that this is how the best soldiers are made. Soldiers, grab your weapons! Death to the traitors!
Stop! Soldiers!
We're doing our best to...
Well, what do you... And we know what...
Enough!
Put your weapons...
Really? You'll be considered...
Death is...
Must I remind...
And however many...
Is this...
Maybe not.
Exactly.
Attack!
Found the Dara.
Rolf, you bastard! How could you be part of this disgrace?
You know that this is how the best soldiers are made.
Soldiers, grab your weapons! Death to the traitors!
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey these scoundrels?
We're doing our...
Can we not?
Enough!
Must I remind you?
And however many...
Is this...
Maybe not. That's...
Rolf, you bastard, how could you be part of this disgrace?
You know that this is how the best soldiers are made.
Soldiers, grab your weapons! Death to the traitors!
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey?
We're doing our...
Well, what can we know?
Enough!
Put your weapons down and...
Really? You'll be
Death is...
It was nearly Wilhelm's turn tonight. It could have been any of you.
Lies! Only the weak fall. So we must prove that we aren't among them.
Nonsense. I've seen more combat than any of you, and I've seen hundreds of soldiers die. Weak or not. I've seen this kind of camp before, full of torture and sadistic officers. I thought it was a thing of the past, but I was wrong. So help me make sure this camp really is the last of them.
You're right, Captain. If we don't put down our weapons, this will never end. Congratulations, Lieutenant. You've trained cowards.
Their training wasn't finished, Captain. And the speeches were so convincing.
Silence! Where is this second squadron? Should have been here a long time ago.
They're not coming, Rolf.
They surrendered too. It would appear that your training methods aren't very effective.
Now that you no longer have lackeys to send after us, Rolf, you'll have to get your own hands dirty.
I've dreamt of shutting that big mouth of yours up for so long.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
I must leave you. Will you be all right, Kurt?
Yes. Yes. I'll be fine. I'm just glad to know that this camp won't kill anyone else.
What about you, Wilhelm?
Thank you for saving my life. Without you...
I hope you can forget all about this. This is not what the Guard is about.
I don't know if you'll be able to forgive us, Wilhelm.
I've been in your shoes on other nights. You didn't have the choice.
While we wait for this camp to close for good, you'll be under Wilhelm's command. You'll soon receive your transfer orders.
At your orders, Captain.
Glad it's you, Wilhelm.
You'll stay here for now. I'll send men I trust to come get you soon.
What do you want us to do?
I'll need backup if I really want to put an end to all of this. We must go see Major Sieglinder in New Serene. I need to tell her what was going on here.
Are you sure she wasn't involved?
Her? Never. She's old school. She already held the commander at a distance because she didn't like the direction the Guard was headed. He would have sacked her, or worse, if she didn't have so much support within the Guard. I should have listened to her.
There's no use brooding over the past. Let's go. We'll go and see her immediately.
Sieglinder, I need to talk to you.
What's the matter, Kurt?
We've just returned from a training camp. A secret camp, where elite soldiers are trained through terror, humiliation, and torture.
Don't tell me that.
Yes. One of my recruits died, and he wasn't the only one. It is designed to create a regiment of assassins.
I am sorry, Kurt. I knew something was wrong, but I never would have thought it'd go that far.
We put an end to it all. We had to. But Torsten allowed it, even encouraged it.
I told you,
that the Commander's ambition would end up leading us astray from the ideals of the Guard, and that we would pay the price for it.
Yes. At the time, I told you you were exaggerating. That he had his reasons.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to speak out, Sieglinde. And reveal the Commander's project to the Governor of the Congregation.
If I were as close to him and his family as you are, I would have done so a long time ago.
I know. I feel so stupid for not having understood Torsten's scheme until now.
You've always been a loyal person, Kurt. And too many loyalties are sometimes hard to reconcile. But Torsten betrayed us all. I'm counting on you to make him pay for it.
Believe me, he won't get away with it. Goodbye, Sieglinde.
Goodbye, Kurt. My men and I stand with you.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
I must leave you.
Hello, Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
No, thank you.
Best forge in... Oh, it's a great place. Want armor that fits you like a glove? We'll make it for you.
Oh, it's you on Old Menawi. Come and see. I receive beautiful things from our village.
The valley is vast. We should get to a vantage point if we want to find this expedition.
Found the Dara Grimadaram.
Things are about to get dicey.
Over there. Tents. This must be the expedition's camp.
A camp here, in the open wind. It was definitely set up by scholars.
Signs of combat. They were attacked. By the look of the tents in the campfire, it dates back several days. It seems they were taken prisoner. I don't see any bodies. No weapon leaves this sort of marking. Perhaps they were wielding magic.
Yes. It is the art of the Donegada. One of the Valley clans was here.
Would you know which one?
One who fights against the invasion of the peoples from your island. I can be sure of nothing more.
Why would they attack scholars? They're not warriors.
They come here as conquerors. This is enough. But they were not killed. Warriors would have been.
This looks like scientific equipment. This must be the Lost Expedition's campsite. This looks like the journal of a naturalist. There are sketches of flora and fauna. There is no doubt. We are definitely on the trail of the Lost Expedition. It seems that one of the team kept a distance from the others. Let's see what we can discover. A trail of blood. That cannot be good. Follow it. More blood. We're on the right path. Keep going. A corpse. The clothes cannot be mistaken. It is a scholar of the Bridge Alliance. From the looks of him, I would say he's been dead for days, as we already thought. This isn't the woman whose journal we found. There is still a chance that she remains alive.
This man traded his life for all the suffering of my people.
It was only a scholar, a sage, not a warrior on the battlefield.
Do you think my people see a difference when bridgemen steal our people from their beds? From who do you think all the clans hide their children?
This man was unarmed. And from the position of his body, I would say he was fleeing. It is not honor that motivates them. Maybe it was vengeance.
I'll search the body. We might find something to help us understand. Here is the isolated camp mentioned in the journal. Everything is in order, but the inhabitants are no longer there. Its position would have allowed them to escape the attack.
Isolated. Discreet. Perfect visibility. Great choice.
It is a journal. That of a woman from the expedition, a certain Afra. She speaks of their research and relates here that she felt watched. She feared an attack was brewing. I believe she was right. The writing stops mid-sentence.
A woman with sharp eyes. They might have saved her life.
We must follow the tracks of the attack. They will certainly lead us to our party of intrepid scientists.
This woman was right to fear the Donea Exregao. They must have followed this path coming from the swamp. This is where we should go if we want to find these lion scholars.
Dicey!
We won't let you take us. We will not kneel down without a fight.
Wait. We have no desire to fight you. We only want to find the Lion Sages. They are not warriors, but their chief is ready to send an army of warriors to liberate them. If you help us bring them back, you will save your tribe from a costly battle in lives.
He speaks truly. Look, one of them is already eager to bring Lion warriors back to us.
All we wanted was for them to tell us where our brothers are being kept.
What good is this if we must leave our camp behind? Very well. Stay away from the main entrance. Our guards will not welcome your arrival.
Pass around. There is a smaller entrance hidden there. The lions are kept in a home in ruins.
There must be a key somewhere to open the door, but I know not where it is kept.
I'm not here to kill you.
Tell me then, what is your intended purpose?
We were sent to look for you.
Apologies, but allow me to express my doubts.
Well, after this little swim, you could always try to pull the trigger.
Who sent you to find me?
Well, we were not looking for you in particular, but the entire expedition. It was Governor Burham who asked us to find you. He's worried about you. You haven't been reporting.
You should have said that straight away. I must admit, I was hoping for a rescue. Of a different nature. Do you have a name?
Desarde. I'm from the congregation.
The new governor's cousin. Who wears an islander face. I've heard stories about you. And them?
I am Siora, daughter of Bladnid. From the people that your own capture and torture.
I've never taken anyone. On the contrary, we had hoped to exchange our knowledge with your own.
Kurt. Simply Kurt. I protect our excellencies back. And if one of your violent fits overcomes you, rescue party or not, I will kill you.
This is a rather odd group. I am Afra, a scholar from the Bridge Alliance. It is rather rare to find me rolling in the marshes. I study the fauna and flora of this isle. I should imagine you have many questions.
We saw the site where you were attacked. What exactly happened?
We were taken by surprise. One moment everything was calm, and the next a war party of natives fell upon us. I had an uneasy feeling and kept myself apart. But when I heard my fellow scholars, most of my companions are incapable of defending themselves. One of them tried to flee. We decided to give ourselves up to...
What has happened since the attack? How long have you been in
We were taken prisoner, and I was able to escape while the others were taken. I wanted to join the Bridge Alliance frontier post not far from here, but I wasn't able. So I doubled back to keep watch of the village. I have been hoping to find a way to free my...
Have you made progress in your search for a cure?
We were studying The region is rife in unknown and novel species. The local shamans know all these plants, and they use them in their remedies. If only we had been able to converse with them rather than getting ourselves...
Could you lead us to the village where your colleagues...
Certainly. We are, and I fully intend to participate in this rescue.
This is where the natives took your colleagues?
Yes, it is here. These ruins are being used as a camp by the native raiders.
There are so many of them. Better to remain discreet.
I have spied on the camp and discovered where my colleagues are being held. They are being kept in the old walls of the main ruin. I would rather avoid unwarranted deaths. We should wait until nightfall and look around the camp to find a more discreet way to get inside.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need...
I must leave you.
I fled as they were about to lock my companions inside a cell. We're going to need a key.
Please, Onol Manawi, let's try to avoid a fight.
have the key.
Is that you?
Come quickly. We don't have much time. Thank you for your help.
Do not thank me yet. We are still in a shipload of danger.
Now, we must find a way to get out of this valley without putting my companions in danger.
Mercy, you have defeated us. Spare us our lives.
If you spare them, they will only hunt us down until we are all dead.
No, you have our word. We have been bested. We will let you move on in peace.
How can we trust you? You attacked our camp when we were not even armed.
They are savages. They had us caged like beasts.
We only sought to learn where you have caged our people.
Spare their lives. I beg you. They were only fighting to save the lives of those that have disappeared.
Very well. Leave. And I hope you keep your word.
Thank you, Onol Manawi. I have spoken, and I will honor my words, qua hwlp.
We are no longer in danger. Thank you for your help, Desade.
I must admit, the reasons for my being here are not entirely selfless. Your research to find a remedy against the Malachor could save many lives in our cities as well.
You speak like a true man of science. Cut to the point, then you'll be thrilled. Your heroic efforts to save us from those savages could help. We've made a discovery.
Is that right? In that case, we need to speak with Governor Burham immediately.
Very well. I'll accompany you.
Let's be off.
Sir Desade, and our expedition. I thank you sincerely for having brought them back, Excellence. You are a providential man.
Please, sir. It was you who convinced me and my cousin of the capital importance of their research.
Research that has borne fruit, Your Excellency.
Truly? This is excellent news. You have found a plant with sufficient properties?
Not exactly. Know that during our captivity, an island woman visited the camp. The natives called her Tierna Hac Cadactus and treated her with utmost reverence. I heard them talk about a remedy, a universal remedy it seemed, that she had concocted. How's that? Huh. Well, I grasp the basic of the local tongue, and I am certain to have heard the word yag, remedy. Surprising. But the Tierna Hac is very powerful and very wise. It is possible that she did craft such a remedy.
the va- Your Excellency, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for your visit. Your Excellency, it's all... Thanks for your visit. Come closer. Come closer. All my wares are in the vanguard.
Sade, I'd like to discuss something with you.
I'm listening.
My colleagues are only interested in the physiology of the islanders and consider everything else. However, if we want to understand how they are transforming, we need to take a look at them. The potions they drink, the dyes they use are surely the source of—
Why not talk about it with Siora? It seems to me—
Siora is very suspicious of me. But I was told about a place of ritual called Kurganau, decorated with carvings. By studying them, I hope to better understand. But they call it a dangerous place and I cannot go alone.
Sorry, I'm already—
I understand. Anything else?
Do you often hold strangers at gunpoint?
Only when I'm being tracked. What about you? Do you often track young ladies?
Your journal was surprisingly thorough, and your observations very pertinent. How could one not want to find someone so brilliant?
It could have fallen into the hands of a boorish idiot, unable to understand any of it. I'm glad it was you who found it. Anything else?
Where do you come from, Afra?
From Alima near Al-Sad. It is but a small town, but my parents wanted me to become an astronomer, but I was always more intrigued for this reason.
When did you arrive on the
A
island?
little more than 2 years ago. He needed— How could I—
Do you miss the continent?
No. When I arrived on this island—
I must leave you.
Have you considered my proposition?
What was it again, precisely?
I've known the Mother Cardinal for quite some time. I fear that your cousin might be a little defensive.
What do you have in mind?
Diplomacy is not only a matter if we have them.
How could we ever—
Everyone has nasty.
Very well. Let's go and discover what the governor would rather keep hidden from the world.
Excellent.
How would you like to go about this?
We must search her apartments in St. Matthias. They'll be guarded, of course. But if we are discreet, that shouldn't be a problem.
This is taking quite a risk. The congregation's reputation could suffer if we're caught, and my cousin's position would be weakened.
I know. But keep in mind that I know— And if we want to be sure to pass without being noticed, we need only dress ourselves up as servants.
That would improve our chance.
Welcome to the best... Goodbye. May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing. Closer. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to have a... Goodbye. May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing. Come close. Don't hesitate. Goodbye. May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine. Don't hesitate to have a rummage. Goodbye. May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
Ah, Your Excellency. The Enlightened must have sent...
I'm listening.
As you may be aware, we suspected this island might be the...
Did you?
This island was where Saint Matthias lived at the end of his life. Some time ago, we created a village which we called it. We chose this place as it seemed to be the closest to the one. It is a home to a community of converted islanders, accompanied and guided in their budding faith by, as you can imagine, it is of the all the more so because we discovered some tablets.
An extraordinary discovery that confirms your suspicions.
I see. Alas, these tablets were stolen. I know that you are generally well. That is why I was hoping that you could help.
I suppose I could go to Eden and...
Marvelous. The leader of the Comadian Light...
This is a very unique place. The smell of stupor and vice reign as its masters.
You're not wrong. We should search this place. For goodness sake! This room reeks of alcohol.
And not just any old alcohol, if my nose does not deceive me. Cornelia always had great taste when it came to drinking.
It seems that someone forgot their earring.
Ugh, here is an object of more than questionable taste. A woman from a good family would never wear it. It's junk. The kind of thing a courtesan would wear.
I didn't know you were an expert on the subject, Father.
The subject of jewelry?
No, of courtesans.
We are here at the heart of human depravity. Outrageous luxury, excessively priced alcohol, obvious debauchery.
Surely this is enough to incriminate the Mother Cardinal.
No, my child. These things are common in certain circles, even in Thélème, unfortunately. Cornelia may well have organized these things for others. These parties might be of use in gaining some political favor. We must find out who is involved and learn more.
The earring that we found may help us with that. We could ask at the brothel if it belongs to a prostitute.
We should continue searching. Perhaps we missed something.
Locked.
This document is highly important. By reading it carefully, you could learn a lot. The Mother Cardinal apparently borrows large amounts of money from a moneylender. Actually, enormous sums.
What's more, she does so quite regularly. How does she manage to give it all back?
And the name Candy Cane crops up several times. Quite suspicious, don't you think?
This sweet person must be doing her huge favors to get these sums. I think we have everything we need. There is probably a connection between these pleasure parties and the account books. Let's ask a few questions.
The moneylender is well established. He can be found near the main square. As for this Candy Cane, the name doesn't ring any bells to me, but the moneylender must know more about him.
We can also go and gather information at the Coin Tavern. Perhaps the manager...
Can I get you anything?
I'm here for something else. Can I ask you a couple of...
If you wish. What would you like?
You sometimes deliver goods to your big clients, isn't that right?
Of course. The rich don't...
And have you ever supplied anyone from the...
Yes, that has happened.
And who places these orders?
Well, a steward, of course. Don't you know how things...
A woman? Dressed in a long...
No, the steward is more discreet. On the other hand, the person in the big green coat, the steward speaks to her sometimes. They know each other.
Do you think that the Mother Cardinal may have ever been here?
Are you drunk?
What can you tell me about a certain
Candy Cane? Everyone speaks about him.
And what do they...
Here, nothing. You need to go...
To the games room?
Yes, that's more the kind of place with...
I have to go.
Look who it is.
I have to go.
A feast for the eyes, ladies and gentlemen. And it's free. Come and see me as soon as you have made your choice. You won't be disappointed. Of that I can assure you. Come on. So, have you found...
Let's just say that I'm gathering...
My treasures are worth their price. I promise for you. I'm sure we can...
Father, do you want to explain to this man why we are here?
Of course. We are not here for your services, but to lead an investigation. Several clients of yours have made a complaint. Precious objects disappearing after your employees' visits.
People in very high places are concerned, which explains why we've been asked to take care of it.
This cannot be. Well, listen. Come in, but please be discreet.
Thank you for your cooperation.
There are too many of you for me alone, my little lambs.
Sorry, madam, but we're here to ask others. This question might seem a little surprising, but...
Why? It's mine. I lost it when...
Are you sure you want to broach that subject here?
You're right. Come with me. Well, what do you want? Why are you giving me back?
You know where we found it, don't you?
Obviously. I realized as soon as I got back that I'd lost it.
I imagine your pimp does not know that you take part in these parties. He doesn't dabble in this at all?
No. Do not say anything to him, I beg you. He's on my case enough as it is.
Then I suggest you answer my questions.
What would...
Could you tell us who you saw at the parties?
Rich people, or better. They seemed very rich and important to me. But I don't know them.
Do you know who organizes these parties?
Not really, no. A steward pays me when I go, but I don't see anyone else, apart from the clients.
You can't even give me a single name.
No. The only person who sometimes speaks to this steward is a woman who is always wearing a green coat. She never takes part in the festivities, but the steward rushes over whenever she arrives.
Do you think that an important person from Thélème could have partaken in these soirees?
You're thinking of Mother Cardinal, aren't you? You lot really think we are a bunch of degenerates.
You're hardly a shining example of virtue, my child. Just answer our questions.
Sorry, Father, I don't know the Mother Cardinal, but I strongly doubt she dabbles in that.
You don't think you could recognize her, and you don't think you've crossed paths. What a testimony. Admit it, you must know more than you're letting on. It's virtually impossible not to recognize someone while being so close to these influential people, wouldn't you agree?
Well, I was able to recognize someone, once. Even with a mask on, I'm good at recognizing my clients.
Please continue. I'm all ears.
I don't want to implicate anyone, but he is of no real importance, and you've probably never even heard of him. It's the local moneylender.
I know very well who you're referring to, my dear.
But I didn't mention anything to you, huh? This stays between us.
I don't even remember the subject of this conversation anymore. This woman in the green coat, could you tell me about her?
She always hides her face and never joins us. Then she disappears into a little office and locks the door.
I see. She is quite important then. Do you know someone who goes by the name of Candy Cane?
Everyone does. He is a powerful person, so his name makes the rounds.
Have you ever spotted him at these pleasure parties?
In all honesty, I wouldn't even be able to recognize him. I've heard his name before, but that's all.
Thank you for your help.
Be sure not to mention this to anyone. I'd lose my clients if they suspected me of speaking about them, you know.
May the Enlightened bless you.
Can I look who it is?
I'm looking for a woman who comes here. She always...
Yes, I have seen this coat before. But I have no... All I know is that I've seen her a steward of the palace who comes to place...
I have to go. I will leave... Good day.
Welcome. You here to...
I'm looking for someone. A woman wearing...
Yeah, I know who you mean. She comes in, especially for the big fights, and she has pride.
Do you know where I can find her?
No, I don't...
She wouldn't happen to be coming back to collect some winnings.
No, and I can't really tell you when she'll show up.
I imagine that the name Candy...
Obviously. Even though I would prefer... He's a sort of... organizer.
How is that a problem?
Apparently, he's fixed a few fights.
If that's the case, why don't you stop?
He has friends, protectors. And the only ones who wanted to speak of his cartel have
Do you know where I can find him?
He often hangs out around the port at night, but I strongly advise you.
I know how to look after myself. I must be going.
Next time, then.
Can I help you?
Yes, actually. I have a small favor to ask.
You don't look like you need money from me.
I'll get straight to the point. I have bad news for you. I know about the decadent parties at the palace. I know that you take part in them.
What? But what are you talking about?
Stop acting all innocent. I have all the evidence I need to incriminate you. Although your reputation isn't spotless, there are others who have a lot more at stake than you. What if I were to spread it around town that you boast about being there? You know what happens when tongues wag too much.
That's enough. All right, I get the message. What do you want?
Tell me about Candy Cane.
We're not close, if that's what you want to know. I just know his name, like everyone else. I mean, there are some rumours. They say he does his business in the basement of the Coin Tavern.
What kind of business?
Oh, nothing to do with my line of business. He deals in...
It would appear that you know the Mother I know that she borrowed money from you. I even know how much. What I want...
I have no idea. Do you really...
Does she still owe you money?
No, she always pays me back on time. And within...
Do you think she's plundering the city funds?
Ha! If that were the case, the funds would have been depleted long ago. Nah.
I would advise you to keep all of this to yourself.
I don't want any trouble.
So, how do you see things, my child?
I think that the usurer is lending money to the Cardinal, and very significant sums at that. With this money, she bets on the arena fights while hiding in a big green coat. And she also gives large amounts to a certain Candy Cane, known for fixing fights.
Not only does our dear Cornelia love betting games, but she also wouldn't think twice about cheating to win.
Maybe he's just giving her advice. How can we prove anything?
We can always try asking him. Who knows? Perhaps he will give us an answer. Candy Cane is not here. At least not yet. Remember, my child, the bookmaker told us that he hangs around here at night.
That's true. You're right. Let's come back later.
Candy Cane is not here. At least not yet. Remember, my child, the bookmaker told us that he hangs around here at night.
That's true. You're right. Let's come back later. Good evening. Are you the one they call Candy Cane?
Who are you?
Desade, legate of the merchant congregation.
A legate, no less. I imagine in these cases, the one accompanying you is the famous Petrus.
You seem to be very well informed. Therefore, you might be able to answer my question. What do you know about a woman in a green coat?
Why would I tell you?
We know that you have business with this woman, and that she is actually the Mother Cardinal.
How did you... You would be better off forgetting that.
That's not exactly the response I'd imagined. But nevertheless, seems rather eloquent.
I told you to forget about it, or you'll soon run into trouble. Legate or no legate.
Come on, it was just an innocent little conversation. Goodbye, Mr. Kane.
Bye. And Godspeed.
We have enough information.
Really? Is the fact that she bets on fights that are potentially fixed enough for you?
It's already a huge scandal. Let me just think about it for a little while. I will find a way of putting this information to good use.
I have faith in you, Father.